You made a really interesting point about the data in, right? And that's been one of the big issues in CRMs is the amount of manual data that we're requiring primarily sellers to put in every single day and keep up with in order for, because we all know garbage in, garbage out, right? So if the right data isn't coming in, then the right decision making isn't happening on the back end. And Grant, I would love to ask you a little bit about that in terms of how do you see this evolution? Because the tool and the way that it's been used in the past can't be the way that it's used in the future, right? I mean, AI is not only helping us do things and make our processes more efficient, but the area where AI is really starting to emerge now is where it can help us make strategic decisions, work smarter, not just more efficient. And so I'd love to get your thoughts on that.
Yes, Steve, I would agree with David that the largely CRMs have not delivered on the promise to enable sellers to optimize their success, quota crushing, revenue attainment. And it's interesting, the last several years, as the AI has been elevating its prominence across all software and AI platforms, there's certain marketing automation platforms, just to say it more broadly, not to call anyone out, but say, we've solved it, we've got the promise. But quite frankly, it's better solved in the system of record in the CRM. And if the go-to-market team, sales, marketing, customer success, support can all access and work together as a team looking at that data, you can optimize your workflows, your decision-making, and most importantly, the outcomes, because that's where it really provides value to improve business success.
And David, I'd love to, how have you further enabled automating getting data in? And then if you could give us like one example, kind of like a story about how this impacts the seller, right? How it changes their day-to-day lives.
One of the things we spent a lot of time on is trying to capture all the information the enterprise has about a customer. And companies have invested so much in the back end, right? Being able to do order management, inventory management, shipping, distribution, all the things that have to run like clockwork for companies to operate well. And they know so much about the customer. Unfortunately, the seller isn't getting access to that same information in a way that makes it really easy for them to know where to focus. So as a really specific example, we at Sugar ingest a whole bunch of order data through an engine that helps interpret all that data to see patterns within it and then make specific recommendations, just like Grant and all your time as a CMO, just like a lead might come into a seller. In this case, a recommendation comes into a seller and says, this customer has been ordering these products at this rate and it's starting to drop off. Go talk to the customer about why that's the case. Or this customer looks like these other 10 who tend to buy these products in combination, but this customer isn't doing it. Go ask them why they aren't. So don't just give them reports and dashboards, but actually tell them, here's the customer, here's the product, here's the conversation, and help them cut through all the huge complexity that might exist in that back end to guide them towards the right conversation.
So one of the big things that I think I heard you say there is you are taking the intelligence from across the entire sales team and organization about how products are sold, typical patterns to expect. And you can turn that into intelligence on what should be happening, where there's no individual salesperson that could keep track of all of that intelligence themselves. But huge, huge opportunity there. Did I read that correctly?
That's exactly it. I mean, you might have a account manager who's managing 200 accounts through distribution with a 10,000 product catalog. Like, how do they keep it all straight? It's really, really hard.